Hello everyone, this is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, and this is the Dispatcher 101 Training for Beginners live online course. We are now at Module 3, which is booking the load. This involves the dialogue that you will have with the broker once you have a load that you found for your carrier and it matches your carrier's profile, and you call the broker. So now what is that conversation like? So if we go back to in the previous module 2 load boards, we had a use case, and I'm going to open up Internet Truck Stop. We had a use case where we had a dry van picking up in Atlanta and going to Houston, Texas, I believe. And so let's do that, and let's just find a load to use as a sample, a use case to call the broker and have a dialogue with about. Okay, so I'm opening up the search feature, typing in Atlanta, Georgia for a van, and going to Houston, Texas. So this is what you would do, and let's say we're picking it up Friday, the weekend. How about that? Because on the way out, and we hit add searches. We got 6 loads, $1,100. Okay, so those are not. Well, let's say this. Let's use this. Let's find a better paying load. Let's edit this. Edit, and let's not put Houston, Texas. Let's just put the state of Texas going in on Friday from Atlanta going to anywhere in the state of Texas. So now we got 46. So I'm gonna look at those in groups of 50. Scroll down, I can see more of them. Hit the rate, put it in order. Okay, so and these rates are here. So let's open up one coming out of Atlanta, Georgia, and let's go to Gorman, Texas. Okay, 44,000 pounds. It's a dry van load. The dry van can handle up to about 45,000 pounds. So let's say one does not have a rate, and we want one coming out of Atlanta or close to Atlanta, which in the deadhead miles, that doesn't have a rate listed here. So Atlanta, 0. So this one with 0 from Atlanta, directly in Atlanta, 10,000 pounds going to Lubbock, Texas. So let's do that one there. And I'm gonna give you a little tip and a little trick for when you call and talk to brokers that doesn't have a rate posted. So you'll have a starting point to ask. So look, under special instructions, it says 1,800. So, but the loaded miles or the practical miles is 1127. So the question with this particular load is, why didn't they post that 1,800 under special information? Why didn't they make that the posted rate? They wanted you to call, and especially, what if you didn't see that when you were going through the details and you called? What rate would you have asked for? Well, in this case, let's say on the load, let's say on your profile for your carrier, he wants about $1.95 a mile. So if your carrier wants at least $1.95 a mile, and the practical miles for this load going from Atlanta, Georgia to Lubbock, Texas is 1,127 miles, then you would take the mileage, the 1,127 miles, and multiply that by how much he wants cents per mile. And that would give you a starting baseline rate to start negotiating with the broker with. So 1,127 miles times $1.95 per mile. So that's $21.97, so about $2,200. They are $300 or $400 with this 1,800. They're $400 below what your carrier will want for it. So you could, when you call that broker, you know what you're going to ask for. They have what they want to ask for. So there you are. So here's the method. Here's the dialogue that you're going to have with this broker. Let's say with all things considered, the numbers are right and everything. You're going to call that broker, and you're using this load board here, Internet Truck Stop, or any load board. You're going to look at the broker information, their Landstar, Ligon Inc., LJI, their contact office numbers here. The person, you're just going to call their dispatch in this case. Sometimes there is a contact person's name, other times there is not. But here's the dialogue. So you call that number, ring, 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 the phone is ringing, they'll pick up, hello. You're going to say, hey, I'm looking at a load picking up in Atlanta on Friday for a dry van. So you're giving them information. I'm looking at this dry van load picking up in Atlanta on Friday, going to Lubbock, Texas, delivering on Monday. Is that load still available? It's important to say that because sometimes brokers leave loads on the load boards longer than what they've been posted for. This one's been on here for 4 hours and 40 minutes. So it may or may not still be there. So one of the reasons, the main reason in my opinion, why we ask that phrase in there, is the load still available, because they may not have taken the load down and it could already been covered or gone, booked. So the broker is going to ask, they're going to say, let me check my system real quick. So this is the dialogue. Let me check my system real quick. By the way, what's your MC? This is the broker asking you, the dispatcher. So he's asking you what's your MC or your motor carrier number for a reason. They want to look in their system, their database, to check against that MC number to see if your carrier is already an approved carrier or set up. An approved carrier and being set up are the same thing. So they want to see if your carrier is an approved carrier or is set up already with that brokerage. So they're going to come back with one of two answers. Either they are or they are not. So let's look at the scenario, the case if they are not, because it's easy to look at the case if they are, because you just got to do the rate confirmation. You won't have to do the carrier packet. If they are not set up with the brokerage is going to come back and say, you're not in our system, but that's not a problem. Who do I need to send our setup packet to, or our carrier packet to, or our broker carrier agreement? Setup packet, broker carrier agreement, carrier packet, they all mean the same thing. It's just an agreement between the carrier and the broker to get set up with that brokerage. So you ask the dispatcher, once they ask that question, you'll say, well, send it to my email or send it to the company email. In either case, as a dispatcher, you are the middle person in between the broker and your carrier. You're doing the administrative stuff. Your carrier is driving. That's why they pay you your percentage to do these things for them. So the broker is going to email, either he's going to send that carrier packet, that broker carrier agreement, or that setup packet in one of two ways. He's either going to send it through a link to their onboarding website, which is through either RMIS, or it could be their internal web portal. RMIS is Registry Monitoring Insurance System. It's an onboarding tool. It's one of the most popular ones. Onboarding tool. Let's look it up so you can see what I'm saying here. Register. I'll just say RMIS and see what happens. RMIS. So there it is, Registry Monitoring Insurance Services. So it's an onboarding, carrier onboarding service. So that's what I mean. So that some brokers have this technology already, other brokers may not. So they'll attach a PDF to an email and send it to your email, where you have to print it out or put it into your DocuSign, where you can do it online electronically, fill out the fields that need to be filled out, and return the carrier packet to the broker along with the other documents that the broker needs. So here's the important part. So you need brokers need carrier packet filled out, and they also need copies of the carrier's W-9, the MC authority letter, the certificate of insurance, and if your carrier has a factoring company, an NOA form, a notice of assignment. And I'll go over the carrier packet and other documents in lesson 2 in a little bit more detail. But right now, this is high level. So you will fill out the carrier packet, return the carrier packet to email it, or hit submit, or if you're doing it online through a link, and upload those other documents, the W-9, MC authority letter, certificate of insurance, and NOA back to the brokerage. Also, too, mind you, sometimes brokers would ask to be made a certificate holder on the certificate of insurance. So I'll explain that in the other documents part in the next lesson. So once these documents are returned, the broker is going to process all that information, run it by their compliance team for approval, and come back with one of two things. Either you are approved to run loads with that broker, or you are denied for this reason, and you may need to either your insurance is outdated, you may need a new policy, your MC authority letter has some red flags on it, or whatever. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that your carrier is good, so he gets approved by the brokerage. So the next thing is, okay, so now your carrier is approved, so everything's good. The next thing is the broker's going to say, okay, well, we agreed upon the numbers, whatever that amount is, the rate. So let me send you, let me produce a rate confirmation now. So now, mind you, the load is not officially booked yet. The only thing that happened is you filled out the broker carrier agreement to get set up with the brokerage, and you gave them all the documents that they needed. But until that rate confirmation is signed and sent back to the broker, that load is not officially booked. So the broker is going to now email you once they've gotten your carrier set up with their brokerage. Now they're going to send you the rate confirmation with all the details and information in and on the rate confirmation. When is it picking up? Where is it going? What are the times for that? How many pallets? What's the load number? Things like that. The rate, any special instructions. So once you receive as a dispatcher that rate confirmation from the broker, look that over, make sure the information, you're your carrier, make sure the information, matches what was posted on the load. If there's anything extra in there, you call the broker back and go over that with them. Why was it added? Can we add some more to the rate? Stuff like that before you sign anything and send it back to the brokerage. Because once you sign and send it back to the brokerage, that's the amount, and the load is officially booked. And that's the dialogue right there. So you pretty much, you find a load on the load board, you discuss it with your carrier, you guys agree upon that load, you call, the carrier said, call, let's book that load, book it. You call the broker, start the dialogue, hey, is this load still available? They say, yes, it is. What's the MC? Look the MC up, you're not in their system. They give you a broker carrier agreement, you fill that out, send it back with the other documents. They send a rate confirmation, fill that out, send it back, the load is officially booked. That's how it works. And then you just do that over and over again with different brokerages, with different carriers, but the process is the same. The process of dispatching is the same. The only things change are the characters, the brokerages, and however many carriers you are dispatching for. And that's it in a nutshell. Now we can go into a little bit more detail in the next lesson on the specifics of the carrier packet, the specifics of each of the other documents, and then in the final lesson in this module, we can go over the rate confirmation. So I will see you guys in lesson 2.